on giving 100%. Me, Mr. Glickman, and we're just gonna get started.
Mhm.
You had something else to say?
Nope.
Alright.
I will in a minute.
Okay. The infamous meme.
Does it look familiar?
Do you think this is the 100% we're talking about? Is something wrong with it?
No.
But yeah, yes. Don't give 100% at work,
But I did. I gave 100%.
but you work 5 days a week.
Dude, hold on.
You supposed to
Yeah,
get
that's-
100% every day.
Yeah.
Does this look like our kids though, in a class period? Well, we start out, right? We start out, they start out.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Would you stop hitting
I
buttons?
did. You touching
Right,
me.
12%, and then the next 15 minutes, 23%, and then all of a sudden when we get into the meat, a little bit 40%, and then independent work drops down, and then when I'm doing my closure at 5%. But yet they'll say to you, hold on, Ms. Campbell, I gave you 100%. Yes and no. Was that 40%, was that the best 40% that you could give me? You only had 40% in you. Did you give me 100% of that? If you did, great, thank you, because how many times, I don't have 100%. So, I only did 5% of this whole presentation, literally, like I just sent her a couple things and I had stuff going on. She took care of it. I gave her 100% of my 5%, that was the best I could give her at that time. I sent her slides and all that, and then I put out of sight, out of mind, I was gone until Monday when everybody said, hey, we've got rehearsal, and I'm like, I have no idea what anybody's even talking about. So with us, how many times, right now, how many people are out of the building? Struggling, right? And we've got people that are in here sick, still putting in, listen, I don't have 100%, I'm at 80%, but I'm gonna give you 100% of that 80. And then others in the building like, no problem, I'll pick up that other 20% for you. Because our kids deserve 100% of us, and you guys deserve 100% of each other.
Now, how did that work? Technical difficulties, guys. Do one more. Yes. Alright, so here's how the world might look over the course of a year if we only gave 99%. So not even at 100, just 99%. So take a second to read over it. If you want to read some out loud, tell us which one stood out the most to you. Just want to be on here for a few seconds or minutes, maybe.
Oh,
Which one, Tanya?
Which one?
Which one?
well, I'm looking at that, the one that says 291 pacemaker operation would be performed incorrectly.
That's okay, I absolutely love that one, I love the baby one,
Yeah.
because that's awesome going into the parent, hey, listen,
Those are life.
12 of these kids are not gonna be with their right parents, you're okay with that, right?
That is
It could
so
be, look, how exciting, right? And then you're going in for a pacemaker, hey, I got good news for you. We got 291 that may not work, I'm not sure which one you get, you okay with that?
Well, good luck.
Good luck, we're rooting for you. The only one that doesn't matter, who cares about the Wall Street Journal? Right, that's just news that's a day old. Now, this was good, because Miss Morgan, I just learned this about her, drinks ginger ale, and it better not be flat. So she better not fall in that 5.5 million, she's gonna raise some cane.
And only Canada Dry ginger ale.
Oh,
So
even
if you buy
more
the ginger
specific.
ale, yes, just Canada Dry. That's all.
I have a task for David, there are 315 words misspelled in Webster's, maybe he can work on that and find a couple of them, right? So if we're only given 99%, each one of us, even though we say hey, 99% is good, it's great, but look at all the mistakes that still happen. And if we compound that, as Ms. Morgan said, right, each one of us, exponentially, what does that end up happening to us, our kids, our goals? You could have different kids every night eating dinner. I have no idea. Oh, I'm at 12.
The quote says, "I've got a theory that if you give 100% all the time, somehow things will work out in the end." By Larry Bird, who is a basketball player, correct?
He is
Well, he was
Hall
on
of
the
Fame.
Lakers, the tall one.
No, honey, can I
The
take you on
Celtics.
mission? Thank
The
you.
Celtics.
Yes, we would never talk about the
Well, he was
Lakers.
in the documentary though.
He was, because
Oh.
that was the greatest rivalry, was the Celtics Lakers, and Magic Johnson.
Ooh, no, it's basketball. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, who knew?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what does giving 100% at work mean, or what does that look like in the building? So, how do we give 100% on a daily, or how can we see our colleagues giving 100%? Any examples? Throw them out there.
I think you guys made a good point. So I don't necessarily think you're gonna see the 100%, but you're gonna see what is considered the best of that person. So like if the person is only giving 50%, but they're giving 100% of their 50%, it's going to look like they're giving a little bit more to the outside. But I also think on the flip side of that, we may be giving 99% on a bad day because you came in with some baggage, but some coworkers, it's just not ever gonna be necessarily up to par. So, then you take some, you lose some, the situation.
Well, hopefully after today, everyone's gonna be like 100%. That's the goal. You had something to say, Ms. Faye? Good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him, because I mean, it's so many things, when you walk up your door into this door, of course, we know not to bring any baggage, but like you guys said, that 40% will be that individual 100%, but then look at it, when you think about it, in theory, somebody missed out because you didn't give that 100%. So it's do the best you can to do more than just the average norm.
So putting in that effort.
So that goes, right, so that goes back to accountability, responsibility, but empathy as well, understanding of, hey, I'm sorry, I'm doing the best I can, I'm giving you 100% of whatever I have. And understanding that, it's like, okay, they're holding themselves accountable, and I'll pick it up.
Is this your video? Maybe that was wrong.
That's not my video.
That's probably wrong.
You lost it.
Lagging.
Good.
Here it is.
So, Gino Amarillo is the head coach, I can't even pronounce his last name, but I've followed him for years. He's the head coach of UConn's women basketball, a national powerhouse in our country. He's coached the Olympics, Team USA. His teams have won longest winning streaks, 100 straight wins. But he is, he pushes his players to the brink of where they almost break, but then he's able to get them to push even further, and they'll push themselves even further. His program is not for everybody, but he gets the best players in the country because they know that he is gonna make them the best that they can be at whatever skill set they have. And they're elite, but he's not afraid to push, and this is kind of a cool video. Did it right.
Kids wanna come to practice and they wanna go with their pace. So I have a thing that I do with coaches sometimes, and players in clinics.
This
And you say,
video? I have no idea.
Okay, great. I want you to run from here
Interview.
to the end line and back. Kid go, okay, so you go, ready, go. And they come back. Then I reach into my pocket and I go, all right, look, I've got, where is it? I've got $100 here somewhere. I've got $100. If you can get from here to there and back in 10 seconds, I'll give you $100. Ready? Now the kid gets in a stance like this. Go! Like they're shot out of a cannon. They go flying down there and come flying back, and I'm counting, and then when they get right to about where you are, I go, 10. And they just get so upset that they don't get the $100. Because they're like, I ran as fast as I could. I said, I know you did. The only problem is the only reason you did it is because they offered you $100. When I said the first time, go from here to there and back, you went at your pace. Now you went at the pace I want you to go at. So that's the difference, I think.
That's quite the way to impart a lesson.
That's our biggest challenge. as educators is how do I get the kids to go at my pace, the pace that I need them at to get it? Because our kids are not intrinsically motivated. Not in education, that doesn't mean they're not intrinsically motivated in other things, right? It's easy to teach a group of kids that are intrinsically motivated because they're driven. It's the great teacher that can take that group of kids that are not intrinsically motivated and get them excited about education or opportunities that they want to go at your pace. And how do we get our kids in our building to go at the pace that we need them to? And I don't have an answer for that, and I don't expect you to. But that's what we're trying to get to, is to get them excited, to get each of us excited that we do have to pick up the pace, us collectively as a unit, so then the kids will gravitate towards that, be excited to go at a faster pace.
Because I think that's, I mean, of course I work in the office, but then just from observation, I think that's a challenge here because the method sometimes that is used to motivate the kids, I think the kids just need to be more accountable, you know, to do it, because sometimes it may not always be that situation where you have that particular reward to give them when they need to be motivated themselves.
So that's, you nailed it. The hard part is to hold a kid accountable for something they don't care about, that has no value to them. They don't understand the value of it or what it can do for them. So why should I account, just because you care about it, doesn't matter to me. And it goes back to even the other morning when Mr. Terry went to talk to the parent walked out. Just because you want to talk to me doesn't mean I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And oh, how can that parent do? You're trying to hold me accountable for something I don't care about. Or it's not of interest to me, or I don't feel like sharing why it's not of interest to me, or what my trauma, or what I'm going through. Suppose it's a little easier, right? They're motivated to do that, and if not, they get cut. Because somebody else is stepping in their place. We can't cut the kids. Yeah, you're just not cutting it on my team, so you're out, I'm gonna bring in a new player. It's, how do I get those kids motivated? And that's where I am truly, truly thankful, appreciative, and admire what you do. Because you have the hardest kids who are not intrinsically motivated, who have been told that they stink, not good enough to be on my team, so they got cut from their other teams, and this is their last chance to play. And none of us have $100 in our pocket, so nice try. That's not happening. Even collectively, we've got what, 45 cents and some lint. So then how do we find what motivates them? The big sigh, because that's what it is. The big sigh of how do we do that?
Effort is whatever an individual puts into a task to complete and succeed to achieve the goal. So what is our goal here at LHA?
Well, one of our goals.
Yeah.
You just said it, motivate students. So to motivate them to practice self-motivation.
You said it earlier,
Mhm.
right? Helping them be accountable. What else do we do?
Restore them.
Equip them with skills such as coping skills,
Mhm.
communication skills. These are the things that's needed. Good leadership skills. You know, I think the most important is coping and communication, because they have things that's going on in their lives. They don't know how to well, they don't, sometimes they don't even know how to recognize, so we're looking at that too. But, and to verbalize what the challenges are so that you can begin to help them.
I think that's really good what you just said, because especially with our kids, you think about, I think also you have to find one good thing that they're really good at.
Mhm.
Build with that, with the communication, with whatever, you know, they're lacking. Because most of the time when the kid already has low self-esteem, it's hard to get them to even focus, cause they've been told so long that you idiot, you're stupid, you know, so you got to find out one good thing about them and begin to build on, you know, that, because that's what we deal with our kids.
So you spend 100% of your energy trying to find that little diamond in the rough, right?
Yeah.
And
It's exhausting.
And it is exhausting, because you're constantly, which is why you need your teammates, why we have to be supportive of one another, each other, holding accountable. You know, trying to find that career thing, that one glimmer, that one ember, and then how do I try to give it enough oxygen to keep it going with the support of everybody else, because I know your frustration, and rightfully so, is I've got an ember going and then somebody just steps on it. It's like all that work that I just put in, all that effort that I just put in with that child just got knocked away because somebody wasn't giving 100% or not all into what we're trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish. So that letter, that email that you sent out was that 100% saying, this is what I'm working on, please don't step on my ember. Give me all the support, because that's what I'm trying to get out of it. And that's the communication, so that's teaching the rest of us, so thank you, Sarah, that's teaching the rest of the building, this is how we give 100% to each other. This is how we support one another. You may not see him in your classroom, you may not even know who he is, but please know this is what we're working on. So if you do see him, this is what we're trying to get, so please help. So,
And that's us giving our 100% so that we can reach our goals here. So, is it realistic to give 100% every day?
I think so. In different ways, you have to just balance it out in different ways. But I wanted to say, go back to the other slide,
well, we don't go backwards here, honey, we only go forward.
Right here?
to go forward to the other slide, to the last slide. Says, like, what is the goal here? The goal is to help families sort through this, they got like this spiraling mess going on. And how do you make sense out of it? You make sense out of it by pulling one thing out at a time until it becomes clear. And then you don't have all this big whirl of a mess going on. You're clear, because I tell them it's like sorting clothes, you know? You have to sort out all of these different events in your life, and then you have to make sense out of them. You have to place them, and then you can move forward. You can, you know, you can live your life.
So, I love that analogy, because behind the scenes, you're up there sorting the clothes, giving 100%, yet we get the kids and here's the laundry basket, like, how'd that even happen? And that was the work that you put in, trying to figure out what's going on, so that I can make sure that when I'm giving 100%,
I got one better.
you know,
I
that
do.
sounds good, no.
I'm sorry, I have to say this, Mr. Glickman, because from the other video that they showed us, I've forgotten which group it was in now, but when you teach others that preserve your energy, so you don't want to do all of that sorting, we don't know what their life is. You let them do the sorting, and then you help them apply the skill. So that's where you're gonna get the best bang for your buck, because you're gonna be able to help more people that way, and you're gonna be able to stay healthier that way. So that's our goal.
I always tell my students, you have to meet me halfway. You have to help me help you. Because if you're not helping me, then we're just gonna be here.
Yeah, you just spinning it around, just.
And you're a teacher, so you can wait longer. You have a longer wait time.
I can't put it into you if your cup, if you got the lid on, how can I pour into you? You have to be ready to be receptive and take it and all of that. So I'm just not giving out free advice to everyone. You have to be ready.
I'm not telling everybody my opinion.
Do we need more time on this thing?
I don't think so, I'm gonna hand out there.
Alright, These are
And you
just
can't
as
put
you
no
get
on
your
there.
exit ticket tips that can help you give 100% at work. So having that balanced work-home life, trying to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night, shutting off. So now I'm starting this new thing like 7 o'clock. I close my laptop, so I'm not answering emails. Well, I still look at them, but I reply in the morning because I'm trying to enjoy my home life, avoid overcommitment. Just know your limits. If you can't do something to protect your sanity, then say no. It's okay. And having a break throughout the day. That break will keep your mind fresh and energetic. So stepping away, leaving out of your office, leaving out of your classroom, going talk to a friendly face, take a walk around the building, anything. is
Have you
gonna
guys, any of
help.
you jumped in the massage chair?
I
Well,
haven't
Saturday,
done
I
that.
jumped in it because I think somebody tried to get out of it and broke the arms fell off. I came in the other day and it was imploded. I know who did it too, 'cause he actually sent me a text saying, can you fix it?
I haven't been
And I
in yet. Miss Colton, I just saw her leaving out of there and she just looked wonderful. So she was like, try it out. I told her tomorrow I'm gonna try it.
Yeah,
But that is all.
Miss Tara goes in there every 5 minutes.